Dear students, in last class we discussed some problems related to capacitors, parallel plate capacitor. In those problems, combination of series and parallel, some problems we discussed. Today we will discuss about dielectrics. Dielectrics is nothing but insulator. Insulator, you know what is meant by insulator, which will not allow electricity to pass through them very easily, or those materials which are having very high value of resistivity, or we can say their conductivity will be very small. Such type of materials are known as insulators. So another name of insulators is dielectrics. Okay, so these dielectrics we can classify into two. One is non-polar dielectrics and another one is polar dielectrics. Non-polar and polar dielectrics. So first of all we will discuss what is meant by non-polar dielectric. So non-polar dielectric means if we are considering a single molecule of a non-polar dielectric, in those non-polar dielectric, the center of mass of positive charge and center of mass of negative charge will coincide. There is no separation between center of mass of positive charge and center of mass of negative charge, because of which there is no dipole moment. Okay. So the dipole moment of a single molecule, if it is zero, we can say that as non-polar dielectric. Okay. So dipole moment will be zero. Why it is zero? Because center of mass of positive charge and center of mass of negative charge is coincident. Okay. Is it clear? So that is what is meant by non-polar dielectric. So example of non-polar molecules are O2, CO2, N2, all those. Normally they will have symmetric molecules. We can say it as non-polar. Okay. And in the case of polar dielectric, in the case of polar molecules, what happens is that there will be some separation between the center of mass of positive charge and center of mass of negative charge, because of which there will be a dipole moment for individual molecule. Okay. Center of mass of positive charge and center of mass of negative charge will not be coinciding, because of which it will have a dipole moment. Such molecules are known as polar molecules. Example, H2O, HCl, etc. are examples of polar molecules. Okay. Now we will discuss the behavior of polar and non-polar dielectrics in external electric field and in the absence of electric field. Okay. So first of all we will discuss about behavior of non-polar molecules. How non-polar molecules will behave in the absence of external electric field and in the presence of external electric field. So we are considering a bulk non-polar material. In bulk, many molecules are there. So each molecule, if we consider its center of mass of positive charge and negative charge, it is coinciding. So in the absence of electric field, we can say that net dipole moment is zero. Net dipole moment equal to zero. Why it is zero? Individual molecule has no dipole moment, so overall also net dipole moment will be zero in the absence of electric field. Now, if it is kept in an external electric field, when it is kept in an external electric field is not zero. If it is kept in an external electric field, what happens? There will be some separation between the center of mass of positive charge and center of mass of negative charge. opposite to the direction of the external electric field, and positive charge will move in the direction of electric field, which will result in the separation of positive charge and negative charge, which results in the dipole moment. Okay, so there will be some separation between the positive charge and negative charge. Some separation will be existing in the, because of which there will be a dipole moment. Okay. So, when a non-polar dielectric, when it is kept in an external electric field, these electrons or negative charge will shift or will move in a direction opposite to, it will not be, there will be some shift only, completely it will not move like in the case of conductors, they are not free electrons, okay. There will be slight separation in the center of mass of positive charge and center of mass of negative charge, because of which there will be a net dipole. Okay. There will be a net dipole moment. This is the case of non-polar molecules. Now, what happens for polar molecules? So, in the case of polar molecules, individual molecule has a dipole moment. Each molecule has a dipole moment. But in the absence of external electric field, these dipole moments will be aligned in random direction because of thermal agitation. Because of thermal agitation, these dipole moments will be aligned in random direction, which will result in the net dipole moment of the bulk material to be zero. Okay. So, in the absence of electric field, when external electric field is zero, we can say that these dipole moments they are aligned in random direction to result the net dipole moment to be zero. Okay, so we can write net dipole moment is zero. But if we are keeping a polar dielectric in an external electric field, if external electric field is not zero, and if we are keeping a polar dielectric, what happens? These dipole moments will align in the direction of external electric field. Okay. Majority of the dipole moments will align in the direction of external electric field, or we can say that there will be a net dipole moment in the direction of external electric field. Net dipole moment is not zero. Is it clear? So, the reason is different. Why a non-polar molecule has net dipole moment and why a polar molecule has net dipole moment? If you are considering in bulk, it is different. But whatever may be the reason behind that, we can say that whether a polar molecule or whether a bulk, polar substance or non-polar substance, when it is kept in an external electric field, a net dipole moment will be there. And here we are dealing only with the dielectrics in which the net dipole moment is aligned in the direction. So such type of dielectrics we will say it as linear dielectrics. Okay, linear, which means dipole moments are aligned in the direction of external electric. So is it clear about non-polar dielectric and polar dielectric? No. Now we will discuss about polarization. It is a vector. Polarization is represented by capital P. It is a vector and it is defined as the dipole moment per unit volume. P is polarization. And small p is dipole moment. And V is polarization is defined as the dipole moment induced per unit volume in the case of dielectric, that is known as polarization. Okay. And this polarization depends on which quantity, can you say? Yes, polarization depends only on external electric field. So we can write P is directly proportional to E, where E is the electric field and P is the polarization. So if strength of the external electric field is more, we can say that more dipole moments will be aligned in the direction. So we can say polarization will be more. If electric field increases, polarization also increases. So we can say that it is directly proportional, or we can write P is equal to a constant into E, and this constant is known as, this is pronounced as chi. It is written as CHI, but it is pronounced as chi, and chi is equal to electric susceptibility. Electric susceptibility. Okay. And it is constant for a given dielectric. Okay. Chi, it is written as CHI, it's not X, it will be written like this. And that is chi, it is one Greek alphabet. And it is the electric susceptibility of the dielectric. It varies from one dielectric to another dielectric. In problem, they used to give the value if it is asked to find. Okay. So this is about polarization. Now we will discuss what happens if we are keeping a dielectric slab in an external electric field. We are keeping a dielectric in an external electric field. Okay. So dielectric slab we are considering. Here an external electric field is there. E0 we are considering. E0 is the external electric field which is applied in this direction. So already we discussed whether it is polar or not polar. There will be a dipole moment for individual molecule. Reason already we discussed. The reason may be different when it is kept in an external electric field. So what happens here? Negatively charged ions will be shifted in opposite direction. Negatively charged electrons will be shifted in opposite direction to external electric field, and positively charged ions in the same direction. There will be electrons will not move from one to another, but there will be slight shifting. Or we can say that center of mass of positive charge and negative charge get separated. Or in the case of polar dielectric, it will be aligned in the direction. Okay, is it clear? Dipole moments will be aligned in the direction of external electric field. So when we are considering that dielectric slab in bulk, we are considering a dielectric slab. So we can say that if we are considering a volume in that dielectric slab, the net charge will be 0. Why it is 0? Because center of mass of one charge will be very much closer to the center of mass of another charge, which will result, if you are considering like this, which will result in the net charge to be 0 if you are considering the volume. But on the surface you can see that here and here there will be an induced surface charge will be there, which will not get cancelled. because of the adjacent negative charge, but these charges on the surfaces will not be cancelled, which will result in surface charge density having surface charge density minus sigma p and plus sigma p. In the case of conductor, we discussed the net electric field inside it will be 0, but here it will not be 0, but net electric field will be reduced. Oh, is it clear? Net electric field will be reduced. It will not become 0 because equal number of charges will not be induced. Okay, so electric field due to these induced charges will not be equal to the external electric field, but because of that induced charges, the net electric field will be reduced. Is it clear? Okay. And now we will discuss about the parallel plate capacitor once again. Already we discussed the expression for the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. Now we will discuss what will happen if a dielectric slab is inserted between the capacitor. Okay. Effect of dielectric on a parallel plate. Effect of dielectric on a parallel plate capacitor. Okay. So parallel plate we are considering capacitor. Positive charge surface density plus sigma minus sigma, and a conducting slab is introduced. We are filling this entirely with a dielectric. So dielectric slab is introduced between the capacitor, fully that separation completely filled with the dielectric. Okay. So before the introduction, we can write before the introduction of dielectric slab, electric field, if we are writing it as E0, that we can write it as E0 is equal to sigma by epsilon 0, where sigma is the surface charge density and epsilon 0. Now after the introduction of dielectric, what happens? After the introduction of dielectric slab, electric field is given by sigma minus sigma p divided by epsilon 0. Why it is sigma minus sigma p? Because here surface charge density will be there, which will result in the reduction of the electric field. So net electric field is given by, it will not be sigma by epsilon 0, it will be sigma minus sigma p by epsilon 0, where sigma p is the induced surface charge density. Okay, now we have to find now sigma minus sigma p. We can say it is directly proportional to external electric field. Why? Sigma p is proportional to external electric field. Sigma p depends on external electric field. If sigma p depends on external electric field, we can say sigma minus sigma p depends on external electric field. If sigma minus sigma p depends on external electric field, we can say it depends on sigma. So we can write sigma minus sigma p is proportional to sigma, or we can write sigma minus sigma p is equal to sigma by k, where k is the constant, is the dielectric constant of the resistor. K is constant, that constant of proportionality is the dielectric constant. Now you can substitute, you will get the electric field, you know, modified electric field as this sigma minus sigma p by epsilon 0, or you can write it as sigma by k epsilon 0. Now you can find very easily the capacitance. Capacitance is given by C is equal to Q is equal to CV, or C is equal to Q by V. And what's the value of Q? Q is sigma into A, where A is the area and V can be written as E into V, or sigma into A divided by, instead of E we can write it as sigma by K epsilon 0 into D, or we can write it as epsilon 0 K A by. So if you are introducing a dielectric, the capacitance will be increased K times. So here you have to represent, you have to mention A is the area, B is the separation between the plates, separation between the plates. Okay. So this is the expression for capacitance. So we can say that in the absence of dielectric, capacitance is given by epsilon 0 A by D, and in the presence, if you are introducing a dielectric slab and completely the separation between the capacitors, in that case capacitance, new capacitance is given by epsilon 0 K A by D. So from these two expressions we can define dielectric constant. How can we define dielectric constant? It is given by C dash by C, which is equal to K. So how to define dielectric constant? It can be defined as the ratio of the capacitance if a dielectric slab is introduced to the actual capacitance in the absence of dielectric slab or in vacuum. Okay, so it's a ratio. Like that, sometimes they will ask define dielectric constant in terms of capacitances. So it is defined as the ratio of the capacitance if you are introducing a dielectric slab fully between the parental capacitor to the actual capacitance in the absence of dielectric slab or only vacuum is present. That ratio is known as dielectric constant. Is it clear? Okay. Now we will discuss about same only effect of dielectric. Introduction of a dielectric slab in the capacitor, but we are not inserting fully. So capacitor is there, separation is D, area is A, surface charge density is sigma, and we are introducing a dielectric slab having thickness T. A small dielectric slab of thickness T is introduced between the capacitor. Now we will see what is the capacitance. So first of all we can find what is the potential difference. So before let it be E0. E0 is the before the introduction of so we can say in this region E0 will be the electric field, and here electric field will be E, and that is given by E can be written as E0 by T. No. How? We have written E is equal to sigma minus sigma P by epsilon 0, and that is written as sigma by K epsilon 0, and sigma by epsilon 0 is E0. So we can write it as E0 by K. So in that thickness, electric field is given by E0 by K, and wherever dielectric slab is not there, electric field is given by E0. Now the total potential difference we can write it as E0 into, in which region it is there? In that place D minus T. No. D is the total thickness, and in that T, up to T we can say dielectric slab is there. E0 by K into T. Is it clear? So E0, where here and here electric field is E0 and that separation, that thickness is V minus V, and here electric field is given by E0 by K, so we can write E0 by K into T. We can take E0 common, D minus D plus K by K. Now again you can find capacitance C is equal to Q by V. Q can be written as sigma into A and V can be written as E0 into D minus T plus T by K. And instead of E0 we can write it as sigma by epsilon 0. No? E0 can be written as sigma by epsilon 0. So you can substitute here what you will get. Sigma A by epsilon 0 into D minus T plus T by K. So you will get it as epsilon 0 A by D minus T plus T by K. So this is the expression for the capacitance. This is the expression for the capacitance if you are introducing a dielectric slab in between. And if D is equal to T, if you are writing it as if D is equal to D, which means if you are inserting fully, what happens, the same expression what we discussed you will get here also. How you get C is equal to epsilon 0 A by, instead of D you can write it as D, no? So D minus D plus D by K. So you will get it as epsilon 0 K A by. So this is the expression. Okay. Is it clear? Now the last topic we will discuss. In effect of conducting slab on a parallel resistance. Effect of conducting slab. Effect of conducting slab on a parallel plate capacitor. So instead of a dielectric slab, here we are introducing a conducting slab. Capacitor is this, and we are introducing a dielectric slab having thickness T. So inside the conductor, we are introducing a conducting slab having thickness T, and inside the conductor, what's the value of electric field? Already we discussed electrostatic properties of conductors. There we mentioned inside the conductor electric field is 0, and here electric field value is 0. Okay, so we can substitute. So potential difference can be written as E0 into D minus T only. Here inside it is 0. Now we can find capacitance. It is given by Q by V. Q is equal to sigma into A, and V can be written as E0 into D minus T. Again E0 can be substituted as sigma by epsilon 0 into D minus T. So you will get it as epsilon 0 A by D minus T. This is the expression for the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor if you are introducing a conducting slab. So we can say that when you are introducing a conducting slab, the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor got increased. Okay, the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor increases when you are introducing a conducting slab. Is it clear? So today what we discussed about the polar and non-polar dielectrics, then effect of dielectric slab on parallel plate